What's up, Zox fam? Now, I was asked the other day what exactly would be my biggest concerns with Wuthering Waves, pushing forward to the CBT, and of course, looking forward to the official release of the game. Now, if you haven't been under a rock, you obviously know what's going on in the Genshin sphere and all of the Genshin drama that's going on. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into that, but I will say that there were a lot of takeaways for me personally that I really felt like was important to discuss with you guys as the community, and even some of you guys coming in as the future community. And I also felt like as a content creator, this was something I really wanted to assert and say early so that you guys understood where I'm coming from and also understood what kind of person I am. Now, with that being said, the first thing that I want to actually talk about, and I think that this was one of the things that I really would say was one of the first initial takeaways that I feel like I'm kind of concerned with, is seeing any sort of division and not being able to come together, right? And it's not that I don't think that we will be able to, but I just think that it's really going to be a matter of what's going on at the top and how it trickles down. And I feel like one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of division within that drama, and there really isn't a common mindset when it comes down to what we are trying to achieve and what we really want for the game. And I think that a lot of that is typically shown by action, right? So a couple of the different things or points that I've seen is that people will say one thing but then do a complete other thing. And I think that right now we are in such a great place in the Wuthering Waves community, and we are definitely going to have a lot of different personalities and different types of people coming in. But I think that at the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, it's always going to be us versus the company, right? No matter how good the company is, no matter how good the company treats us, there's still a company that's trying to make money. Now, the thing to that though, is that if a company is giving you the opportunity to have a certain level of open communication with them, if they're willing to do some of the things that you as a player base are asking for, and even going above and beyond to offer some more things that make your experience memorable, then there isn't an issue. But I feel like, again, with the name of the game, there's always going to be something that comes up. We just haven't experienced it just yet, but there will be something, and it will require us to either decide if we're going to divide or if we're going to come together. And I would say that my goal is to always try to bring all of us together, no matter who it is. So yes, that means even individuals such as Tectone. I've already gotten pushback for this, and I know I'm going to get flack under this video for even saying this, but for me, I want to continue to lead by example. And by leading by example, that means welcoming people with open arms. And I want that to be a part of the essence of Wuthering Waves, and that to continue to trickle down into what the standard is within the community. I want to hear more people saying, wow, that community is very welcoming. Wow, there's a lot of genuine people over there. Wow, those people didn't just judge me and exiled me because I came from Genshin Impact, you know? And I think that that's a really, really important standard to uphold within our space. So with Tectone, or anyone within that space for that matter, that wants to come in and try out Wuthering Waves or be a part of the Wuthering Waves community, I want to say first and foremost, we welcome you. And I think that one of the big things with that, guys, and this kind of gateways me into my value and morals, right? I think that that's a very, very important part of this situation. What do we value? What are our morals? And what are we standing on, right? And I feel like that's something that's kind of being presented in the Genshin Impact drama that's going on. You're starting to kind of see what your favorite creator or what certain creators' values are, what they stand on. Are they going to, you know, be saying, hey, we're not going to do this now, and then a week later they're going to be playing the newest update? Or they're going to be, you know, saying, hey, I'm not playing the game because they're not offering us anything that's really good right now, and I want to make sure that we get those changes made. And until those changes are made, hey, it is what it is, guys. We're going to be rocking on something else. And I feel like it's usually a matter of money that gets brought up a lot of the times. Like, oh man, I'm not making enough money. I got to make money from this. This is how I provide for myself. And I feel like, at least for me personally, I always will say this, and this will 100% be the truth. I value my community more than me making money. And that has always been a fact. I've made a very, very, very amazing amount of money from doing YouTube, but I take pride in being able to do it with a certain level of integrity. And I think that that's something that I feel like, in terms of value that I'm bringing to the Wuthering Waves community, is that I'm always going to do things with a certain level of integrity, and just with, honestly, like I said, just a certain level of openness and willingness to make sure that my community is good. I think it's important that we continue to stand behind each other just as much as you guys will go to your favorite content creator or even support me, myself. I think it's also important that when the time comes, that influencer in your time of need will support you guys. And I think that no matter what side that you stand on, whether it's the no drama or the drama side, we all have this one thing that we share in common, and it's influence. And when we have a common enemy, it is very, very important that we come together and we speak up because our community needs us. Honestly, a lot of the times saying nothing is just as bad as the individuals that saying everything is just fine. And I think that that's a very, very important takeaway there. Saying nothing is the same thing as saying the same thing as far as, hey, there's nothing going on. Because a lot of the time silence means that, well, there can't really be an issue, right? And I think that that is a lot of what we're seeing transpire. And obviously there's more layers to the situation that kind of come to the forefront, how the company's being ran, you know, the players and all that other jazz. But like I said, for what I'm personally taking away from it, there's a lot of nuggets that I feel like we can apply to our community to make our community better. And honestly, for us to be able to thrive. For me personally, it's not really so much about being better than Genshin Impact. For me, it's being the best version of ourselves that we can be as a community, being the best Wuthering Waves community, and continuing to grow and evolve over time. And yes, there's going to be a lot of us. There's going to be a lot of different personalities and a lot of different types of people. But I think that with that, there is going to be certain levels of understanding and compromise that we're going to need to have and honestly grow to understand and respect each other. Now, this brings me to my last point. And it's that, simply put, we all want the same thing. Now, answer me this, guys. Do you guys feel like for 1 second that Tectone just wants to be on a game where he just purely doesn't enjoy himself and he just wants to be irate and upset about it all day, every day? I don't think so. I feel like that kind of strays away from the initial point I was making, that we want to actually enjoy ourselves on the game. And that, again, goes into the fact that we all want the same thing. We all want a great player experience. We all want to have amazing combat. We all want to have an amazing story. We all want to be a part of an amazing community. And I feel like, again, we all want to also be supporting an amazing company that's also giving that love back. And I think that that's really what is so promising, why you see such high expectations. It's not just about the game itself, but it's about how the company is making the player feel. And I think that we've kind of have seen a lot of ethics and humanity lost with companies just purely trying to make money. Now, yes, I would absolutely love for Kiro to make more money. I feel like they personally deserve it, considering that they have made such an amazing predecessing title where they have allowed players to have such a free-to-play experience. Yes, this game is going to be structured different, and it is definitely going to be a little bit more of a strain on the wallet than some might be used to with the company. But I do think that they are going to be willing to take the necessary steps to still offer things that is allowing you to have an amazing experience as a free-to-play player, or even a casual player that decides to spend a little bit here and there, and even for those that like to spend. And I think that with all of that being said, guys, I think it's really, really important that we continue to push what we have been. And it's that we can be a great community that's welcoming, and we're just going to have a great time and have a great game. I mean, that's like I said, that is my goal at the end of this. But I feel like with analyzing and just kind of thinking about all of these different things, it is really important that these things are talked about and they're said at the top. Now, I don't by no means consider myself to be the biggest creator, but I will say you guys have been showing me so much support on my videos as of late, especially when it comes down to the Wuthering Waves stuff. I think it is really important to get to know the creators that you're supporting. I think it is also very important for you to honestly see what kind of community that you're becoming a part of, and to not be, bamboozled or surprised when you see a creator start to talk a certain way or talk about certain things. Now, as much as I possibly can, I'm going to always be trying to present and release content that is fun and energetic and just really hype. That's kind of my thing. But I will say that when the time comes, and just for those of you guys that decide to support me, when the time comes to speak up and to use my platform for what it's really meant for, which is, again, to stand up for you guys, I'm going to do so. And so I hope that in return, you find creators that you like that are willing to not only, again, provide you with entertaining content within the community, but they're also willing to stick up for you. And I think that that's one of the biggest things that I've taken away from this entire situation, is that if you look up to someone or you consider them an influence, then influences usually are considered, I would say, some sort of guardian. You know, they're going to make sure that you're good to a degree. And they're going to make sure that with their influence, they really, really are trying to make sure that you have a better experience, especially if you're supporting them. So if you take anything away from this, guys, let's just keep the positivity going, right? I think for what it's worth, if you see a Genshin Impact player, or if you have a friend that's coming from that community, I say don't dogpile them. Honestly, say, hey man, we got a great game over here. We're cooking up something special. And why don't you guys come on in and grab yourself a seat and we'll fix you a plate, you know? So I hope that you guys honestly enjoyed this video. With getting to kind of see a little bit more of me and understanding my brain and how I operate. Again, like I said, I know that this probably isn't for everybody, but I really, truly do love to connect with my community. And I want you guys to always know that I'm there for you guys no matter what. And I appreciate what you guys have done for me wholeheartedly. Now, with that, guys, I hope you guys have a blessed day and stay safe out there. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.